Did you know that guitarists spend 50% of their lives tuning their guitar and the other 50% playing out of tune? Well, in today's video, we're going over tips and tricks to make sure that you're only playing out of tune 49% of the time. But before we jump in, I just want to say if you're new to the channel, welcome. My name's Mike Hilbin. I upload videos about guitar and music. So if today's video isn't a total waste of your time, hit the like button and maybe even consider subscribing to my channel. With all that being said, let's figure out how to stay in tune. Alright, so for tip number one, you are going to need a screwdriver. Most likely it's going to be a Phillips head, but it could be a flathead. But you should have both at your house. And I mean, if you don't, come on, what are you doing? All right, what do all three of these guitars have in common? Look close. Yeah, there you go. There's screws on the tuning key. So this first tip is very, very simple. Sometimes the screws on these tuning keys can just get a little loose, and all you really need to do is tighten them, especially if your guitar is getting handled a whole bunch, being put in and out of a case, or maybe you have a gig bag that isn't super protective of the tuning key. And so it's really very simple to fix. All you want to do is get your guitar, hold the tuning key, and tighten the screw. You want these to be tight, but not so tight that you can barely turn them, because that makes it difficult to make fine adjustments in tuning when you're tuning your guitar up. Quick little edit here, I should mention that not all tuning keys have that little screw right there. Most notably these Strat type Schaller's tuning keys. However, some Strats do have screws on there, and you know, if you don't have the screw, well then, let's move on to the next tip. Okay, so for our next tip, all you need is a pencil. You guys do have a pencil, right? Tuning on a guitar has everything to do with how tight or how loose the string is. Now, every guitar has at least one point of contact from where the string starts at the bridge to where the string ends at the tuning key, and that is the nut. So if the string were to get caught up in one of those places, there'd be all this excess slack in the string, just waiting to come loose. If it were to suddenly get unstuck, then the guitar would go out of tune. Now, a really simple way to make sure the string does not get caught up at the nut is to lubricate the nut with some sort of material that has a low amount of friction. And that's where your pencil comes in handy. Gotta lay a towel down, don't wanna scratch up the desk. All right, and for this one, all we're gonna do is slightly loosen up the strings. And we're just gonna put a little bit of pencil lead, get it right underneath in the nut. Get some underneath, put some on the sides, and then we're gonna rinse and repeat. All right, now they're going to wipe off the excess because that looks ugly. I mean, but you don't have to. And that's pretty much it. The graphite will work to reduce friction on the string so it can pass over the nut without any issues. So our third and final tip is probably also the most important one, but it is not as quick as the others. And it has to do with how you string up your guitar in the first place. So this was my first guitar, and I've really been enjoying kind of revisiting it lately, but it has some nasty strings on it. So today I'm gonna show you how to put your strings on to make sure that your guitar actually stays in tune once you're done. All right, so step number one is get the strings off of this thing. So let's do that. So in the last tip, we talked about how excess slack in the string can affect your tuning. Well, what we're trying to do here is prevent that and make sure there's no slack left in the string to begin with. All right, you know, might as well wipe the dust off while you're here. The key here is to keep the strings as tight as possible while putting them on. And this can be difficult because you might pull the strings out of the peg. So here's an easy way to keep them tight while you put them on. Stick the string through the peg and measure about a middle finger's worth of slack. Pull the string tight and then wrap it around towards the inside of the headstock. Under and over, and pull that tight. This is to hold the string in place for you so that one hand can be used to keep the string tight the entire way you wind it around the peg. That's the key. Keep the string tight as you tune it up.
Keep the string tight as you tune it up.
So that's one string, and you would do the same for the other two on this side. If you had a Strat, you'd do the same for all 6. Let's go ahead and clip this guy. I just want to reiterate that this little knot we're putting in the string mostly works just to hold the string in place while we're putting the string on. That way we can use one hand to hold the thing as tight as possible. With locking tuners, this isn't necessary at all. Just lock the string down and keep it tight as you wind the string. If you've done it right, there shouldn't be a whole lot of slack left up here. However, the string still could be stretched out. First, we're gonna go ahead and tune the guitar up. Okay, and then from there, we're just going to physically stretch the strings. Now, these strings are pretty strong, so I'm just gonna grab them and I'm gonna stretch them. Just stretch the strings out and then tune it back up to pitch. Now, I find in general, I've only got to do that crazy bending and stretching 3 times, and then the guitar should be where it needs to be. So let's do that. Okay, so I did it twice, and the guitar it's in tune. However, I said 3 times, so we're gonna do it 3 times. Okay, and so with that, we've had a pretty comprehensive look at our guitar. We've made sure that there are no issues with the tuning keys themselves, that the string isn't coming into contact with any friction-y areas. And by stringing up our guitar in the manner that I showed you, it ensures that there is no extra slack anywhere on the guitar and that your strings will be stretched out properly for you to get playing right away. Alright guys, so let me know down in the comments if you've learned anything in today's video, or better yet, let me know if you have a great guitar maintenance tip that you could share with me and everybody else down below. I hope that helped you guys out. That's all for now, and until next time, keep drinking coffee.